with you in a minute. Excuse me if you're on and I'm not saying anything, I'm just waiting for the link to come through so I can monitor this. There we go. Right, now this is the 27th of August 2024, and we were actually on earlier on in the week, but we don't normally do so many live streams, but I did say we'd be back, and I did say we had an announcement. So first of all, and please give me a shout if you're on, first of all, we had 4 students all audition or send in recordings auditioning for the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland, and the 4 of them are all through to the next stage. So good luck to you all. There are 2 separate days for auditions. One I believe is the 7th of September, and the other one may be the 14th of September. So that's the 4 of them are all through for that, and I'll try and get this right. That's Magnus, Finlay, Robbie and James. Yeah, that's right. So good luck, men. I'm sure you'll do absolutely fine. But the main purpose of today's live stream is just to tell you about, or tell you what it was I was hinting at on possibly even yesterday for the live stream. So I have, and I've said this before, people are continually asking me what my setup is, and that's in bagpipes and on the practice chanter. I have always played these reeds. I can remember, I'm old enough to remember having a cane reed in my practice chanter, and I remember when we changed over to plastic reeds, and it was this type of thing. Now, these are Fraser Warnock reeds, Fraser Warnock from Cookstown in Northern Ireland. Now, I don't know if it was him or his dad. I know they've been going for about 50 years or something like that. But this was the reed that we moved to, around about 1972. And I'm going to be absolutely honest, I've not really tried too many other reeds. There are other reeds that I've tried. I will not spend a fantastic amount of money on reeds, a practice chanter reed, or indeed a pipe chanter reed. I'm way too tight for that. So the reeds that I've tried have been sort of at the lower end of the scale. These come in, I think, about £6, £6.50 or something like that. So they are still at the lower end of the scale, but I have never ever, well, I have bought other reeds, but I've not liked them. But these are the reeds that I have used forever. And since we started the YouTube channel, which was around 12 years ago, then we got serious about 5 years ago, I've used no ever, you know. I'm aware that I seem to be using lines from shaving ads, but I've never used any other reed other than this. And I'll tell you one thing about them. If you buy boxes of reeds, let's say you buy 10, there are other brands of reeds that perhaps 1 or 2 out of these 10 will actually go. They will actually produce a good sound in the chanter. Every single one of these reeds will go. I know that, and I've never had one that didn't. So for a lower cost reed, because I don't know what the more expensive ones are like, I'd rather think no difference, and they might even not be as good. These are always the reeds for me. And so over the past couple of years, I've been back and forward to Fraser, you know, basically telling them that and sending people to buy these. So recently, I said to him, look, how would you fancy sending me free reeds and maybe a practice chanter, and I'll play that on all the videos. So what he's done actually better than that. He has sent me 3 practice chanters. So from now on, I'll tell you a little bit more about them in a second. And also, sent me, I didn't ask for this, but he sent me this a universal plastic blowpipe. I had to write down as to what they're actually called. So it's flexible here, it's a wide bore, which is good, which we need these days. And you can get it with the oval mouthpiece or the traditional round mouthpiece. And he sent me both. I like the traditional round mouthpiece best. Once upon a time when these wide bore blow sticks came out, I did get the oval one and I quite liked that, but what I found was, it wasn't a drawback, but having used the oval one, I found it difficult to go back to a round one. And I'm a bit of a traditionalist, I like the round one best. Now, one advantage, I've never used one of these before, so I'm quite excited and certainly interested to get it into the pipes, and I'll get it into the pipes for tomorrow's practice. And one thing it might have saved me from was this this wee gap here. That wasn't really caused by bagpipes, but it has been bagpipes has stopped it from getting any better. So I needed a filling there, and I used to run marathons, and I always carried a rucksack on my back with a water bladder, and the filling popped out when I used the water bladder, and then it went on to pop out 9 different times on the blow stick. Now, I don't know if this will make any difference, but the angle certainly might help. I don't fancy one of the soft blowpipe things here like the Omanis get for the camel, blowing the bagpipes on camels, not blowing camels, that would be terrible. So the angle, the adjustable angle may actually help. And just to finish off with my orthodontic story, eventually I've been like this for about 2 years now, because that breaking there, because it's not decay, it's actually, I've broke my teeth. It's probably not going to get any worse now, but I don't want to fill it again because it's just money thrown away. So the flexi stick, what is it called? The universal plastic blowpipe might help with that. So thanks very much, Fraser, and we'll try that, and I'll report back to you and let you know how I get on. But the chanters, what have we here? So we're going to start from the smallest, which is chanter number 3. I'm just going to dig into the Fraser's site, and I'll put his site underneath in the video details box from now on, every video details box actually. So this is number 3. This is the plain standard practice chanter. I quite like the name down the bottom here, just raises it above most, because there's loads of these things, isn't there? Plain standard black practice chanter. I quite like that wee gold signature there. It's okay. So let's have a look. Is the secret, isn't it? Well, there you go. That stood the test. And it also stood those of you that watch the channel will know that I circular breathe all the time. To do that, now I'm not suggesting that you do that, that's my choice. And it's mainly a circular breathe because I don't want you missing anything in the videos with the tune. I better come back to the monitor for this. Right. Now, to successfully circular breathe without a fluctuation in pressure and a change in the noise that the chanter makes, the chanter must be set up correctly. It must be airtight. The reed must be comfortable. So there you are. I got the 3 of them about an hour ago. The postman came and I was all excited, and this one is pretty much set up good to go. So that's the PC3. Moving on, let's have a look at the next one, which is, it's a number 7, and it's a retro. No, that's the long one. Hold on. So we've got the imitation ivory ferrule top and bottom here, and I quite like this one. This is the one I've been playing around with most. I quite like the sound it gives, and it's a bit broader than the PC3, than a bog standard black practice chanter. I quite like the feeling of it, and I liked the sound as well. Let's try a little bit deeper, a little bit flatter. And that is quite important because I know that people want to play along with the videos. That's the whole idea of them. But if my chanter's a little bit higher pitched, which it has been sometimes, then that kind of stops that. So now and again I was having to, if a specific person asked, could you play this one on a long practice chanter so that I can play along, I had to do that. But this might just stop that. So perhaps a little bit of adjustment to go there just now, but I've not done that yet. Again, I got the 3 chanters an hour ago, and they're, to all intents and purposes, they're pretty much good to go. So we'll fiddle about with that one a little bit, but it's got a nice deep resonant sound, hasn't it? And these are all plastic, they're not Blackwood, so these are all plastic chanters. So, and therefore quite affordable. Now let's have a look at the long one. I like the nickel ferrule, I do like that. I prefer nickel on Blackwood rather than imitation ivory or ivory itself, because the top here will expand and split. And that's, my first chanter was, it was one of these RG lorry ones that came in the case, and it had a nice crest here. But over the years it split, and it split like several times, and in the finish up it was held together with horrible green insulation tape. I don't know what happened to it. I got things for nothing through piping for my employment for so many years, and it was a massive shock to actually have to pay for things. So I gave that chanter away at some point, and I really wish I hadn't now. Anyway, I quite like that the signature down here is at the front, because you can see it, and you're going to be able to see it on the videos. And I'm not used to a long chanter very much. Let's have a look, same tune. Okay, again, a little bit of adjustment to be done there, but not too much, I think. So we'll get rolling with these things. Fraser caught me just in time. I'm coming to the end of the, I'm going to move you for just a second. I'm coming to the end of the Cabernet collection. I've just got 4 Pibroch and I think it's called the Long Rivali. So I think once a month the pipes and drums would come together and play this set for Rivali. So they're quite long recordings that I'll need to do, and the chanters will have to be absolutely bang on. So we'll give these a little tickle tonight, and the first Pibroch I think is just about good to go, and we'll do that tomorrow with the let's say the retro one. That was the number 7. The long one, I should have said, on Fraser's site is number 11, and this is the plastic one. They come with different ferrules. As I say, I quite like the metal. So just to cover that again, what we have then, we've got the Reed's nice red ones. I don't know what the difference is between the red ones and the green ones, but the red ones were what I first got. They didn't do green in these days, I don't think. So I like red. The number 3, which is basically your basic standard chanter. And the other thing I always do as well is when new students come to me, what do I need before I come to you? You need a black plastic chanter and a College of Piping tutor book number 1. And I've actually, yesterday was the first time I pointed someone to Fraser's site for the chanters as well. So that's where we'll be going. This one again, to cover this, is the number 7, which right now is my favourite. I quite like this wee shoulder here, and this is the retro chanter. And finally, the number 11, which is the long chanter. Now, I actually, and I hope you won't mind me saying this, but the legend behind the long chanter is that it more closely resembles the spacing on the holes on the pipe chanter. I've put all these chanters side by side, and I quite frankly don't believe that. I don't think it's true at all, or certainly for the difference it makes, it's a minute difference. However, what I will say to you is, if you like a long chanter, if you prefer the long chanter, then get yourself a long chanter. Don't try and fool me that it's closer to the big pipe chanter, because it's not. But if you like it, and or perhaps your band are all playing long chanters, then you do want to match the sound, don't you? It's not as critical as your pipe chanters. But if we're all playing different chanters, it can sound pretty horrible. So much so that sometimes you can have a whole note's difference in pitch. And what we do find that in is if someone's playing a junior PC, I usually play a junior PC along with them, because it can put them off. If they're playing a B and you're playing a low A and it sounds like they're B. Anyway, I'm beginning to waffle now, so I'm just going to say that I never get free stuff. If you've got stuff and you want to send me it, I'll be more than grateful. But don't send me practice chanters, because I'll be playing Fraser Warnock's practice chanters from now on. And just to reinforce it, that I'm 59, I'm 60 in November. Started playing practice chanter when I was 4. I think I've been playing these things since I was 7. So over 50 years now I've been playing them. And I've never found anything giving the same sound for the same money. I've never paid any more, and nor will I ever pay any more. But I've never found a reed as reliable and pleasant sounding as this. Okay, so that's my exciting news. And excited I am. So we'll be back tomorrow with more stuff, not more live stream. And thanks for bearing with me. And thanks, Fraser. Very kind of you.